trade. You know that this appears to be one of the most controversial issues as far as trade is concerned. That's the last story. You still have one more story?
No, these are
okay. So could you let's start with this story where the president is telling people in the diaspora in his televised message to Ghanaians that because we have a year of return this year, he's telling the people that they will always have a home with us. When I saw the story, it just reminded me of your message of motivation this morning.
Yeah.
About this unknown rapper who took his chance, approached Rick Ross, rapped, and earned himself a place at the table of men.
CJ Biggerman.
And as we were talking about in before you came to do the thing, preparation.
Yeah.
The only way one can have better things happen to you is you have to be prepared for them.
Yeah.
And guess who just walked into the studio? And that reminds me of yet another statement about preparation. In the course of the Parliament's Appointments Committee of the vetting the Chief Justice nominee, who is now Chief Justice, Justice Anini Yabua, the person who has, in my estimation, the best questions was Mutaka.
It's not in your estimation, the estimation of every reasonable person.
Great. Was Mutaka Mubarak. And Samson just said, preparation is the word.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Preparation is the word. And he's in the studio wearing his
well prepared dark blue African print shirt,
yanked off bed by Samuel Ondame.
And with a bicycle seat on his head.
He's not a bicycle seat.
Senior Samson.
Okay, so I followed what has been done. What has been done to you, and I don't want to join.
You know what? You are very kind. Very kind. I appreciate
one thing I'm sure about though is that all the guys here have very beautiful wives, and they all don't look like they deserve them, including myself.
Confessions.
if you don't, I do. My wife tells me so.
That's when I disagree with both of you.
I think our class of wives look beyond what you see on the face.
But it's nice to have you on the show, Samson, and Manasseh. It's quite a rare treat actually to have you both on the show. And Malik, that story is important. The president's comments about everybody being welcome here. It's important for two reasons. I think of this year of return as, and again, it's my subjective opinion, as perhaps one of the most successfully marketed events in the history of Ghana. But at the same time, I see it as perhaps one of the biggest missed opportunities in the history of Ghana.
That's true.
We've marketed this thing so well. There is a hotel here in Accra that has reserved an entire floor because apparently Beyonce and her family will be coming for the year of return. Rick Ross landed last night. We've already had T.I., we've had Cardi B, Steve Harvey, Naomi Campbell. All kinds of global icons have come to Ghana. A friend of mine talks about how he went into a shop in England just about a week or so ago because he wanted to buy a travel agency in England. He wanted to replace his ticket and come at a different time. He's a Ghanaian, by the way. He just happened to be there on business and had to change his date, so he needed a new ticket. Went into a travel agent and said, "I'd like a ticket to Ghana." And the British ladies in the shop were saying, "Oh, are you going for the year of return?" All right, these are just some shop,
Except that it looks like it's home. It's back home that we haven't marketed it well. Because it would seem that not too many people know or even care about this. And yes, as you point out, and you're absolutely right about it, it's one of the biggest things that have happened to us, especially the tourism potential this has, the opportunities this presents. Unfortunately, it seems to be another missed opportunity because, and Manasseh was reviewing a story where the Ghana Tourism Authority is talking about rolling out plans to take advantage of this. When Obama came to Ghana and left, we said the same thing. We did absolutely nothing. We achieved nothing out of that historic visit. One is wondering.
I think my biggest problem with this, and you rightly mentioned about the preparation, is that there seems to be no coordination among the government entities. Because I'm privy to one of the concert organizers virtually saying this is the last time I'll do something in Ghana. because of the harassment.
Imagine
You
that.
have the assembly within which the concert is being organized, going to them to demand business registration permit and a lot of harassment. So I believe
Business
if we
registration
want to
permit.
make this beneficial to all of us, everybody should at least know that, okay, we may not get money from every event, but there are other ways. Because the event is being held in your locality, people are going to sell and all of those things. So I believe we should find a way of sustaining the hype. I know somebody who relocated to Ghana with a family, and then 2 or 3 years later, they were frustrated and they had to go back just because of some of the problems we face daily in this country. So we should at least take advantage of this and change our lives.
You know, often you can't help but complain, whilst I believe that there are good stories that we can talk about and, you know, get ourselves excited about them and about the prospects that some of these things bring to the country. The small bit he mentions about the frustration that one of the organizers of the concert is going through is what, you know, tickles, you know, my attention, if you like, because regulatory law is expected to correct, not to punish, so to speak.
Yeah.
But in our part of the world, we seem to treat all laws as though they are intended to punish. So when you are giving visa on arrival, you should be able to have the same attitude towards someone who has to do a concert for these, you know, people coming. That, okay, if there's a permit they don't have, get them to do it whilst they are on the ground.
Yeah.
Or
Help
even
them.
when they are
And they are not
done.
even
them
registering
to
a
do it.
business. They are not registering a business. They are not. Their business is not even located there. They've just come to use the venue, LWAC, which everybody uses anyway for events. I don't think the government will go to organize
Well,
games and then
put a dog head there
yes.
and play football.
And I tell you, the dog meat is one of the most delicious delicacies
Okay,
you can.
people may not understand
Yes.
what you guys are going
Yes.
through,
The
but
two of
it's
them-
okay.
The two
So
of you
all
are
that I'm-
friends.
all
You
that-
enjoy dog meat.
All that I'm saying is
So is this what you people are going to do? Accuse each other of chewing dogs?
you don't need to frustrate them to get a permit. Let them perform and go. If there's some small fees you can charge them, fine, so that at least they live with a memory. Tomorrow, the benefit this concert is bringing to this country is so immense. So many people coming from across the world.
I interviewed the president of the Ghana, the Car Rental Association of Ghana. And he talked to me about how his members are complaining that as they are ferrying our tourists and our guests around during this year of return, the police continue to harass them, you know, and stop them and ask them all kinds of strange questions and request all kinds of documentation that nobody even thought they would have to travel around with. And you know, try to extort money from our visitors while they are here. I certainly hope that the stories are not as I heard them. I really pray that it's not true. But if it is, then somebody really needs to take control of this entire event, see it as our opportunity to show the world who we are. Just like CJ Bigerman walked up to Rick Ross, took his opportunity and showed him who he is, and as a result, today he has the opportunity to perform with Rick Ross on stage. We should be showing the world who we are with this opportunity.
And Kojo, something is absolutely right about the regulators and the enforcers of the regulations. They must realize that their purpose is to be enablers.
yeah,
They should enable whatever activity anyone is engaged in, instead of just saying, okay, these are the rules, you haven't complied with them. And I'm saying this because I know Joy FM will organize a lot of events, and sometimes when these enforcers come, it's as if they've come to fight you.
Yeah.
Why did you do this? Where is your permit? Why do you put this banner here? You don't have permit to raise this banner. If you don't pull it down, and they are issuing threats.
stop work.
Yeah, so everybody first of all must comply with the law. Otherwise, we'll live, you know,
In a jungle, that's-
like we're in a jungle.
Except that we live like we are in one. In
already
reality.
Yeah, I suppose we are talking about the excesses, but that's not to say the police should not do their job, because bad people will take advantage of
Absolutely.
situations like this,
Absolutely.
you know, to give us trouble.
And they do have to be vigilant in a
Right.
time when we have lots of visitors around. The police do have to be vigilant, but we're praying that they don't do things that are unlawful and give us a bad name. Yeah. Anyway, so what else have we got in there? What do we want to discuss this
Well,
morning?
we are told that on Christmas Day, the Central Business District of Accra was deserted and there was no traffic. And I did a Facebook comment on this that some people didn't find tasteful at all. You know, every year when it's time for Christmas, we have this traffic. And this year, some people thought it was good to ask traders to come and then sell on the pavements, and then that created a lot of traffic. Some people took videos of it and then said, well, this is an evidence of good governance and the prosperity that we are enjoying under this government. I said, no.
So.
There are different ways of measuring, but this for me is not one of them. And on Christmas Day, we are told the areas around the Kantamanto, Kaishi, and CBD
Okay.
were all
Central Business
deserted,
District.
and that is very usual for me.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said something people didn't like. What did you say?
No, now that people are not there on Christmas Day, it's very
right.
usual
Okay.
that people will stay at home, and this is the best period to drive around in Accra.
I'm not sure why anybody was expecting people
On Christmas
a
Day?
crowd on Christmas
Yeah,
Day. It's
it's
normally
family day,
It's
right?
normally before Christmas, days before Christmas, that you have the crowds. That you are even unable to drive. You sit in the traffic for hours and you don't know what to do. So people can plan around it. I tried and I did it.
Indeed.
I planned around it so well that I didn't have to be in the Central Business District. Okay, so
But you don't shop at Kantamanto, so what will take you there?
That is true. That's true. I don't know.
We
So that
know
is-
where you
unless
shop.
he's going to court, he would never go anywhere
Yes.
near that
yeah,
place.
that's a presumption and it's fine. You're entitled to it.
It's an irrebuttable presumption.
Irrebuttable. Okay, so Malik is doing law. We're told that in Nigeria, can we look at that?
Yes, yes,
Nigeria,
please.
the soldiers foiled an armed attack on the ex-president Jonathan. I don't know how exactly that happens. The soldiers are the ones foiling an armed attack on the former president. So they say that details of the lethal attack on the country's former home of former Nigerian president Goodluck Jonathan by unknown gunmen in the early hours of Tuesday have continued to emerge as Nigerians express shock over the motive behind such brazen invasion. A family source confirmed to the Vanguard, that's one of the foremost newspapers in Nigeria, in Abuja, that the former president was not at the Utuak home, that is Bayelsa State, when the gunmen struck around 3 a.m. on Tuesday. So I've just been wondering, when I heard the story first, saw the headline somewhere, on social media, as like, what are they looking for in the former president's home?
I wonder.
And how did it take soldiers to go there and foil an attack on the former president?
Because the house would have been heavily fortified already and guarded by soldiers.
And so
Well,
maybe
I don't know if it's soldiers
No,
that guard
I
the
don't
former
think it
president.
is soldiers
Maybe
that will
those
be
soldiers-
guarding the residents.
Well, a lot of things happen, with this government. For instance, the Akufo-Addo government. There are some ministers who are guarded by soldiers, like their escorts.
That's true.
I tried finding out, and I was told, well, it is wrong because they're supposed to be police. Only the defense minister.
People
I'm
have
told-
complained about that.
Yes, and also the the president. They are supposed to have a army,
Soldiers.
but you have a lot of people. Some are even not ministers. I know a CEO of a state agency who
Is guarded by-
a soldier,
yes,
and
yes.
this soldier actually walked up to me some time ago and said, "Oh, I'm guarding this man, and I'm a soldier, and I've just seen you. I want to greet you."
Wow, that's nice. You get fans. All right, look, Samson will stay with us a little bit because we need to talk about what's happening tomorrow. Big event tomorrow. Newsfile is live, and you need to be there. We'll tell you why in just a moment. But right now, though, let's say thank you to Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy for bringing us the online review, as they always do. Goyle Ifyinifye promotion is back with more mega rewards and instant airtime for everybody. Goyle says thank you for your continued support. Just drive to any station, buy 100 cedis worth of fuel or more, get a card, scratch it, and dial star 161 star 4645 hash. Then just follow the prompter, or just if you prefer, go to the App Store, download the Goil Promo app, sign up with your phone number, and receive a one-time activation code. So you can win airtime, you can win 300 cedis, 500 cedis, or 1,000 cedis worth of fuel for your loyalty. Goil Ifie promotion. Terms and conditions apply. Goil, your Hall of Fame petroleum company. Goil, good energy. And Zenith Bank continues to give us season's greetings. They say enjoy the festive season with the support of Zenith Bank's bouquet of electronic banking products and services. Remember to use your Zenith Visa, GH Link, and MasterCard for quick and easy access to your money. Also, you can dial star 966 hash for easy banking, or use the Zenith mobile banking app, Z Mobile, to carry out your banking transactions anytime and anywhere. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. Right, BBC News comes up in just a moment after these.
Goil Ifie is